I was just on a panel about beyond the walled gardens and talking about, I like this vernacular, I don't know if you've picked up on it, open parks, which I think is a nice and refreshing way of articulating it. And I think there's a bunch of different things that go into the opportunity for publishers. So we know not all the attention is on the 2 or 3 walled gardens from a consumer perspective, but certainly that's where there's a heavy concentration from an advertiser perspective. I think it is a challenge for the industry, but it's an opportunity for us to overcome that challenge on the basis of leveraging, of course, an ID graph gives you a sense of a consumer across all those walled gardens and in the open web. But I think it's also important for the publishers who sit outside of those walled gardens to start talking more about their value proposition, and data enables that, right? By understanding today, as they take more and more control of their but their consumer base who are coming and visiting their properties, and surfacing that data and pairing it with the advertiser data, whether they're coming to the party with first-party data or commingling and associated with data cooperatives or even in third-party data ecosystems, to start changing the value exchange and to start to show that you can prove real performance in a bigger way that's more homogenized because of the data that you're starting with. I think that's a big opportunity for us in the industry.
So what about the world of SSPs and sort of how that's changing, consolidation, and
Yep.
What does the demand side want from your SSPs?
Yes, so we've been. I think it's a great question because it's very interesting to watch the evolution of the programmatic industry, where first the attention was on how the agencies were operating in the ecosystem. We've looked a little bit on the buy side, but not on the buying platforms themselves. There hasn't been a lot of scrutiny, or the scrutiny that you would anticipate when people start talking about things like tech tax and the like. But I think where we're focusing a lot of our energy is on supply path optimization. We're not the first or the last to come to the party on that. But what we really demand of our supply path partners is to make sure that they're holding their publishers accountable for things like delivering viewability, delivering on a brand safety ecosystem, and really making sure that there's no fraudulent traffic that's coming through. And those are, to me, table stakes, but I don't think they've been areas of focus historically on the supply side. And I think secondly is coming to the table with new propositions. So I was just on a panel with OpenX, and it's great to see what they're doing with their open architecture and open audiences, and thinking differently about what they could be providing because of the publisher relationships that they bring to the table, and then thinking differently about how we're going to engage. So for me, I'm not concerned about the tech tax. Of course, my advertisers are, and to me, it should really be focusing on the value proposition. And the more that the SSPs bring value because they're doing the right things and have clawback clauses with their publishers, which to me is something that I think is an essential, I think that's really where we're focusing.
Great. And Erica, finally, explain a little bit about Cadreon, the flavor of programmatic at IPG and
Sure.
your work.
Sure. So I'm pleased to say that we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary of Cadreon. We started as a small unit out of San Francisco focusing on one piece of business, and now we've grown into a big mature operation with over 1,000 employees globally. One provocative thing that I will say that we're focusing on is not using the word programmatic anymore, because the vernacular has never been quite emblematic or respectful of everything that we can be doing, and we think that there's a much bigger future in addressability as well as omnichannel optimization. So that's where we're focusing today.